Tiny Homes Conan style. Hey everybody, hello and welcome to MJTV, where today I'm going to give you guys a quick little walkthrough of my Conan Exiles tiny home that I sent in for the contest. Now, I didn't win, but I did get a nice little note, so I am very appreciative of that. But I want to show you guys how it turned out, because I'm actually pretty happy with it. I didn't have my ideal, the kitchen ended up not being quite what I wanted. Nothing was a stove enough for me. But I really like how it turned out, and big thank you, especially to Natalia and Hikari. They shared a building secret with me as far as raised foundation. So anyway, I think that actually was paramount in having the interesting zigzags, you could say, through the rest of the home. Anyway, I'm very excited. I'm going to jump into game, and in order to tour it, I'm probably gonna have to go in admin mode. Otherwise, I'll be fighting crocodiles the whole time. Because apparently crocodiles like music. But there is a picture of the tiny house that I had put in, and I may make some alterations to it now that the contest is over. Like, take a couple of the roofs off and make it so that you could actually get to the roof. Alright, let's just do this admin thing real quick here, just in case we need to. Alright, and we gotta pull over here and go into game. And it's not showing. Really? It showed a few minutes ago. There we go. I hate that delay. Alright, let's just go outside and we'll start from there. I'm actually really pretty excited about this house. I know it didn't win. I didn't necessarily have... I don't know. There's a lot of really amazing creativity out there. Just even on our server. I mean, stuff Natalia builds is overwhelmingly amazing. But this here is my little home, with its door wide open, because why not? Silly. There we go. So, now, for those of you who weren't a part of the 4-hour stream, yeah, I'm like, I'll just start the stream. I'll start building. Yeah, 4 hours later, the stream was still going. People were like, MJ, I think you should go to bed soon. And it was still going out. I actually invited Spinosaur. Wow, why am I saying so much today? This is crazy. Maybe I'm a little nervous about showing this off, because it was a big deal. I love building. I love designing. And now I just love pouring water all over me. Okay. But it fits. So, obviously, I'm a big fan of waterfalls. So, building this near a waterfall was very important. So, first I found the location. And I'm going to go ahead and circle the house for you guys so that you can get a look. Now, I'm really happy. I really don't like boxes. Hey, Tanik! I am not a fan of boxes. I don't like boxes. So it was important to me to have something with variety to it. Now, you had the 4x4 foundations that were part of the contest, and then you could have 8 ceiling tiles stretching somehow beyond that in order to be a part of this contest. And I actually only had 3 main ceiling or foundations. These 3 right here, the triangled, the wedge piece, and the 2 squares. You go around the home. And then I have this lowered balcony, um, kind of a porch, a lowered porch with the harp. And that is my 4th row of foundations that you were allowed to use, 4 rows. Now, it actually used to just be plain, and then I got it in my head to get a little more interesting, so I put another wedge on each side and turned them into planners. And here's one of my favorite things. The angles and the openings that you get from these. Absolutely love it. Now, a lot of people have made openings where they use the 2 walls and then up above 2 more walls to make the diamond together, but nobody had the diamond how I have it, which is a smaller diamond, because the items are sharing this space. Basically, they're sharing 1 wall worth instead of 2 walls. So that was really unique. And I actually got a compliment on that feature. They didn't see it anywhere else on anyone else's stuff. So that was pretty cool. And huge thank you to Natalia for making me a couple of Tyrannies, the Treasures of Turan pack items, because I couldn't make them myself, but I could put them down. But I learned that if you do not have a DLC, when you put an item down, you cannot pick it back up like you can everything else, which to me doesn't really make sense, because it's not like you're, making a lot of the items. All you're doing is picking it up and moving it. And so she had to make me a lot of extra ones, because I'd put it down, it wouldn't be placed quite right, and I couldn't pick it up, I could only destroy it. Salty? What? No, I felt quite kind of proud of having figured out something that they hadn't seen otherwise. So that just makes me a little proud. I'm sorry. So then we have of course, the porch area, which to me, what do you do when you have a beautiful, beautiful waterfall nearby? You got to be able to look at it. So then we go around the house. And this one messed with my need for symmetry a little bit, because you can see that it's not symmetrical. Otherwise it would be like a W, but it's actually really grown on me. The lack of symmetry in it is really kind of cool. So anyway, I'm really pleased that this last balcony overlook right here was the last thing I finally figured out to do and decided to do. And once I decided to put that out there, because I needed a loft, I needed a bedroom loft. I had nothing for a bedroom anywhere and couldn't get anything to fit how I wanted. Initially, my first designs were all completely earthed. And I plan on putting a couple of planters out here with some plants. I didn't have that yet. So then we come in and look at your first view walking in this house. Can I just say, that's pretty awesome. To me. Ah, yeah, I actually did ask if they were sending personal responses to everybody, like with hand notes, but that was not the case. My lights up there are not even. That's gonna throw me off. Well, maybe they are. Oh, I don't know. So this is coming into the house. And one picture, maybe this was the deciding factor, guys. I forgot to send a picture of the writing area. I only have it kind of from the side. If I would have sent the writing area, I bet I could have been one of those runners up. Careful though. You might see, what is with the us today? You might see that I have this interesting base for my statue, and it looks really cool, and I really like it. But that actually is a trap, and it will go off, and it will hurt you, even me. So you come in, and you can either go, whoa, wow, I guess you go really fast in this mode. You can go down and play the harp for the water, soothe the animals. I had a different, fancier chair here, and then I realized harp players can't really sit with armchairs. That kind of messes them up, so got rid of that. Alright. And then up here to, this is one of my favorite. I mean, just look at that. You've got some snacks here. By the way, these tables actually do sit together to make longer benches or full tables, while everything else pretty much has this big footprint and you can't put them next to each other. Such as in the bedroom, that's as close as those two tables can get. Wait a minute. Okay. So you can make a longer bench out of these, or a big square table out of this ornate work, so that's really kind of awesome. Anyway, so I picked the tile, the Aquilonian tile, to make it decorative for the floor spaces that would not be, you know, covered up main floor. And you know, just sit here with your drink, enjoying. Alright. Now, here we go. One of my favorite places. The writing corner. If I would have sent this picture in, maybe that would have sent it over the top. I'm pretty happy about it. It took me a while to decide what type of seat, because the really cool big chairs that match, everything had such a big footprint that did not feel like it fit with the tiny home vibe, you know? We're gonna have to get a picture of that because I didn't have a picture. You've got your drinking horn, so this is basically where I sit and do all my work, right? I wish. But that is a favorite area. You've got greenery looking out the window, you've got music to the side. Music to this side. Actually, my son helped me. I had a hard time getting this silly instrument to sit somewhere. It had to be close to the floor. So I do have another instrument in here. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, the harp and this both do play. So this is my writing side. And on the other side is my kitchen. Now, sadly, guys, I'm going to tell you, I had to redo this a number of times because I'd accidentally picked something up and not the other thing. And one time I accidentally destroyed the floor when I thought I was picking something up. Gads, it was a nightmare. I know, I actually was going to spawn the cats, but then the cats would die. Or attack. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I could just put them in here and they'll just live. If I spawn the wild. Ooh. Totally should have done that. So you've got everything that you need here. You've got water, you've got food store, you've got a little stove. Oh, crud. Well, that's probably why I didn't win. The irony of that actually was not even supposed to be there. See, that ruined the whole shot. That's my kitchen. Sadly, you kind of have to be up because nothing quite fit on the shelves exactly. Nothing sat on the shelves. And then, yeah, so I really love this area. But really fun was the other side. I'm trying to avoid blowing myself up with that mine. Now, the very first idea I had was the raised foundation in order to make display areas. Now, obviously, that's not as tiny home conducive, you know, make the most of all the space. But this is all about an art and music retreat. And maybe I should have written that, you know, it's an art and music retreat because, I don't know, some people wrote stories about their houses. I feel bad that I actually didn't. So you've got, you know, statues, muses, the light source when you enter the house. And on this side, see, I'm trying to make sure I don't kill myself. Oh! There it went. Quick, pick up the statue before it's gone. So yeah, had devs come in and been walking around doing this tour, they might have gotten a fun surprise. On this side, we have more of the you know, things that bring beauty, artistic things. That's what this little house was. I love, well, now at least I can stand here and not worry about dying. And then up top, we have the sleeping loft. Now, the other thing that was really super cool to me was because of the difference in height, I was able to make the walls on these two sides actually act like railings. So the walls were railings, and it also allowed me to make the zigzag pattern, which I really think is cool. So up here, you just have simple bedding, little sleeping loft, some tea, you know. I wonder if blowing up a dev in your house tour would have been plus points or minus. It is Conan. That is very true. Oh my goodness. There's a question. That's anyway, so like I said, it's kind of a short tour because of course it's a tiny home. But I am really proud of this little house. I did get my pack, so I do have my new pack. And I have permission to read you guys what was sent to me. So I'm going to pop out here and hey, Serve. Actually, no, you climb the wall. It's got a ladder. Tiny homes are really big about recessed ladders, you know, hidden ladders. So, I mean, actually, you can just walk right up the wall on both sides. Just walk right up the wall. So they're recessed ladders here. Because the only ladder in game actually won't work with anything except for the hatch, it looks like. So anyway, I'm really pretty proud of this. My little writing area. I don't think a picture like this actually made it into what I sent them. Which is too bad. You could have actually seen the writing area from here. But I'm going to read you the email I got. And even though I didn't win, and I'm going to tell you guys up front, okay? So I did not in any way indicate that this was me. This, I used a different email that has no connection to me. I never used my name. The name on the email is, it's not a fake name, it's a screen name, you know, like Bubblefish or, you know, something like that. That's the email. So at no point whatsoever, I wanted to be actually really careful, and that nothing about me being who I am was reflective of this contest in any way. One, I didn't want them ever to get attacked by people saying, "Oh yeah, well, she streams the game, so of course she's going to win," or something silly like that. I mean, not saying that the Conan Exiles community would, but I wanted to make sure that that possibility was completely erased. So the whole time she's actually talking to me, she has no idea who I am. I did just say that it was on my unofficial server, but I got an email back from Nicole afterwards, and I'm going to read it to you guys. And it says, "Hey, because I have absolutely no name here. Thank you so much for taking the time to build an amazing tiny home. I loved yours so much. It was honestly a favorite of mine. The design you did was so cool. I absolutely loved... Oh, I didn't even realize... I absolutely loved the baloney with the chairs overlooking the waterfall." I actually read that as balcony every single time I read this email. But it actually doesn't say balcony. I'm not the only one with the crazy, crazy autocorrects. I'm so excited. "And the zigzag pattern on the wall was absolutely amazing. I don't think I saw another entry with that idea. Seriously, great job on this. I'm glad you had fun with it too." And then, "Everyone's creativity absolutely floored us. We're happy to have received over 400 entries. We listed all the winners here. Feel free to add your build too, so we can share it with others with the link. And then, which DLC would you like?" So I did get my Treasures of Turan DLC, and I did ask permission. I also still didn't tell her who it was. I said I thanked so much for that kind of feedback and just kind words, because I mean, a part of me was worried that they maybe didn't even get the entry. I did send it in the middle of Sunday night, but a big part of me actually just kind of wanted to know what they thought of it. I know I didn't win, so I don't have that to go off of, but I just kind of wanted to know what they thought of what it was. And so just taking a few minutes for that kind and personal response when they didn't even have any idea that it was somebody that they knew was actually impressed me quite a bit for Funcom, and my estimation went up. Now, I did ask permission to read this when I was going to live stream a tour, because this was a personal email that's, people don't necessarily want those things shared, but it said, "By all means, more than welcome to read out my response." And then did let me know that unfortunately don't have the time to write responses to all 400 plus, which had that been the case, I was going to really be in awe of that. But I can understand even just emailing back everybody with, "Thank you for doing this, for your wonderful contribution, and what DLC would you like?" Even just doing that alone. I mean, I try to do that for 25 emails sometimes. I can't even imagine doing 400 plus. Whew. But I do like to, unfortunately, I don't have time to write out responses to everyone, but I like to do it when someone has written extra comments or a build I particularly liked well. I wish I could do it for everyone. So, you know what? That is just a level of personal touch and interaction that just warms my heart. And thank you, Funcom, for having somebody and promoting an environment that has somebody there that would take the time to do that, to send a little extra note, or if there were extra comments to somebody, because honestly, that made everything to me. I really wanted, that was what I wanted the most, was just some little, "What did you think of it?" from somebody. And even better that they liked it. I guess if they'd gone, "Yeah, thank you so much for submitting this, really was kind of just ridiculous," and they could have said that. I'd wondered if they were going to look at the pictures and seriously try to count. Now, are they actually only using the block of 4x4, Because if you didn't know, or you didn't naturally... Hi, I'm punching my house. This raising and lowering... Like, I actually want to kind of do a whole stair-step house now. Anyway, and the fact that that my building got the compliment on its own merits and not any kind of possibility of having the fact that I stream the game or that I host the games on a server or that I write about the game, that none of those things influenced either the judging or people's thoughts on the build, and I greatly appreciate that. So there you go, everybody. It's not exactly a long stream, and just go out and start killing crocodiles. No, I actually did have those urns there up on the little pedestals too, but every time someone walked in the door, they blew up, and they blew up on Natalia, and I was like, oops. Alright, we're gonna stop that now. I suppose I could just put I could put a table down there or something. And have have the little snake statue on that. It used to actually be over here on this pedestal, but it kept looking so blank here. So you guys were wondering, so I will show you. In order to get up, see, it's a recessed. Darth, mental note to never walk into any house that MJ builds in any game. Well, not many games give me traps, you know. And then, of course, you can just... Whoops. Well, apparently... Well, it worked the first time I did it. There we go. If you also end up touching your roof, then you can just climb across the front of the house. Let's see if I can do it again. There we go. Let's get yourself some interesting screenshots. It's like, what is that decoration? Don't mind me. I'm just cleaning the lamp up here. What do you think? Should I make myself one of the hanging? It does. Well, when you're in a very creative mood and you're making music, writing books, all that good stuff, guys. I mean, come on. You have to be able to keep fit. Let's see, I have no shoes on. I wonder why I have no shoes on. I must have shoes somewhere, I guess. See? It's just another decoration in the house. Anyway. Take a screenshot hanging from the roof and rotated it. Actually, that would be really interesting. To build a house But you can't put anything upside down, strangely. That is the one really sad thing that I have found while doing this project. The number of ways that you can't, like the fact that I was able to stack that one bowl and dish right there, not something you can mimic. Being able to put two things together slightly touching so that it elongates, makes kind of a newer piece of furniture, you can't do that. Things, look at these books over here, they've got a footprint above and below, so it looks like they're actually levitating unless you're up above the book. Some of the restrictions on how you can place things, I found, actually hindered me quite a bit. And for once, I was missing building hacks, building abilities from the more dinosaur-centered game, because I couldn't put something in that just slightly overlapped something else, which would have made an amazing design. Personally, I found what I wanted for a stove. Let's see if I still have it in my bag. I had to get rid of weight, so I might have gotten rid of it. It looks like I did. So, well, let's go take a look at it. I'll show you guys. That was the wrong thing. This one. So this one, guys, like, look, if I put it out there, it doesn't really fit because it's too tall. But if you placed it on a recessed one and then put it, and then the pot perfectly fit on top, it looked like a more perfect stove to me. And I really wanted to do that, but in order to do it, you had to put it down. So I actually put one of the foundations lower, put it down. But once you did that, you couldn't put a rug over it because it wasn't touching a rug that would cover the whole house couldn't go there because it wasn't touching ground in that one little corner. Or you couldn't recess this down into the ground, which would have been really nice for me. I mean, apparently you can, in some cases. Let's see. But look at that, not aligned with ground. Overlapping with another object of terrain. Do you see how this, right like this, would have been so perfect? And then putting the pot on it. To me, that would have been a perfect one. But yay, Every! I'm glad you got your DLC. Well, you've got your letter for your DLC. I loved your hunting shack. I totally think your hunting shack could have been up there. I think your hunting shack could have been there easily. So, even though I didn't win, I am incredibly proud of this little house. And even though it was pretty much admined in, I'm going to ask my server if they mind if we just leave it. Because I really kind of like it. And I've only got one other I've got one other start of a build somewhere. Other people on my server have like 30 builds all around the land. So I don't think they'll begrudge me this little one. But for my own, I'm going to feel like I need to go out and I will mine all of the ingredients to feel better about using them. Yeah. I know what the problem was. The devs went and got stuck in the back corner with the kegs and stuff, and by the time they had all the meat and everything they could from your hunting lodge, they wandered out and got lost, and couldn't remember how to get back. But I mean, the funny irony of it is the fact that I really love to design buildings, and it's kind of therapeutic to me. It's an outlet that really feels fulfilling that I could do that. And maybe that's why hearing some feedback from them was actually even more important to me, because it really is a, you know, oh, I'm not flying anymore, so I can't do that. Are any of you going to put your screenshots up on the thread? I'm kind of interested to do that, but I think I'd have to upload them onto my site or something. Oh, yeah, the problem is if anybody wanted to hire an architect, they would really want to hire Natalia. Natalia's phenomenal building stuff. I just like having an idea and making it come to life. Now, the sad part, I'm glad I didn't actually show them my roof any, because I do not like how the roof turned out. Oh, Watchtower, you didn't showcase the number of weapons? Oh, man. You probably should have sent like 10 screenshots in. Because they would have been, yeah. Yeah, the roof did not turn out, I ended up not being able to figure out the roof as much as I want. What I want to do right here, though, is I want to make this an open part, so that it's open for living or something, and put a hatch in or something. But for the contest, you couldn't have any other living space besides those 8 tiles, and I actually ended up using all 8. So 1, 2, 3 over there, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I used the 8 ceiling tiles already. So I couldn't leave this blank up here. I was afraid that might disqualify me. Yeah. So otherwise, the roof looks really kind of wonky. But I was smart. I didn't take any screenshots where you could see the roof like that. All my screenshots were like this. And guys, I took like 40 screenshots. I narrowed it down to 14. But after I sent it, woke up in the next morning and went, oh, crud! I didn't have the writing desk. I also took out, I had planters in here at angles with plants in them that I really liked. The problem was the ones that already had plants were and I tried to grow plants and I didn't have enough time. The plants weren't growing. The plants needed more time to grow. So I couldn't use a planter that had a seed in it, and I couldn't put a plant in. So that was gone. But I really am pretty proud of this. Now, Nicole said she was going, if she couldn't stop by, she would probably peek in on the recording later. So if you do peek in, Nicole, thank you so much for your kind words. I'm really glad you liked it. I had a lot of fun. Little frustration building it, but it was a great exercise in creativity. Oh, sounds like I'm about to die. Oh, the front of this, guys, the more I look at it, the more it looks like a monster with fangs. And it does sound like I'm like starving or something. Thirst. There we go. I die up in the air. Oh no. I'm really happy with it. Even if the front end maybe looks a little weird. I mean, maybe I should have left the, I'll show you guys. The way I first had it was just... The way I first had it was just like that. And maybe I should have left it that way because maybe it was a little too busy with the plants. But doesn't it seem silly to not have something sitting there? I mean, I guess you could do something like the... Oh, wait. I've got, There we go. Which way do you guys actually like better? With the hidden planter that looks like a giant fang? Or plain? I wasn't quite sure. I ended up going with the hidden planter, but maybe that was a little too much. I know, Watchstar. I imagine... I didn't even imagine getting down to 4 pictures. You are awesome at being able to do that. I am not awesome at being able to do that. It was my goal to make the 10 picture number that Hikari sent in, but I didn't even make that. Actually, you know what would probably go really good there? Dude, wait. The idol that, cat. No, oh gosh, you guys know what I'm talking about? The religion, the cat religion. Do they have a cat statue? Or is that only a part of the big... I don't have the taxidermy bear, but I do have... See how you can't pick that up? I do have in my inventory still... Oh, maybe I don't. Yes, I do. This was originally in the house, and I ended up taking it out. Look, it's a dancing Yeti! So... That's how I originally had it, and maybe I should have, because maybe the rest of it got it a little too busy. I don't even think I have food anymore. I think it all rotted. Let's try the taxidermy bear. I say we should go for it. Bear. Oh, I can't. Why can I not? Oh. Oh, did it actually give me some without showing me the message? dumping things. Oh, geez. Okay, now I have 12 of them. Oops. Oh, he can't stand there. Not enough contact with the ground. Oh, wow, he's sticking his butt out pretty good. Oh. I suppose we can only have 2 dancing yetis. Everything looks better with a dead animal. There we go. How about that? I actually want to get the other planters to work, to be honest. Alright, that one actually backed in better than this one. Why won't this one open? Huh. Wonder why this one won't go in as well. Wow, it really won't, will it? What on earth? Wonder why that won't. So there we go, guys. There's my new look. New look for the place. The only problem is now, instead of a beautiful bush that I look through, I see a hairy butt. Okay, I don't think I can do that. This is not the type of view that will help my writing. This is not my muse, guys. This is not my muse. No, 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 no. No, that's not gonna work. And can you imagine cooking looking at that butt? Yeah, it's not gonna work. Oh my goodness. So you guys should all start hearing about your contest soon, and getting your emails where they're going to request for what key you like. I like this. If you're actually looking through, you can look through one end of the house and see the waterfall at the other end. So there's my tiny house for you, including the vapor trap, death trap that the snake was hiding. I look at the waterfall, and I know I didn't do anything last time, but maybe if they do another building contest, I'll jump in it. Thank you so much, guys, for coming and hanging out with me. I was just going to do the tour today, so no real adventuring to run out and do right now. But I thank you for coming and taking a look at this. I am happy with this little house. I would happily be in this house. I would happily stay in this house. It would need good Wi-Fi, but otherwise... And I would sit out and watch the waterfall all the time. Because that is soothing. Oh, here we go. The parting shot with a sandstorm. Thanks for joining, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. There's going to be lots of stuff going on, I'm sure, over your weekends and all that good stuff. So be sure you stay safe and keep an eye out for new streams and other stuff. Basically, guys, this weekend is not going to have any streams because I will be out in California. I will be attending a concert, and I'm pretty excited for this concert. I've wanted to attend this concert basically my entire life. So this is going to be really awesome to me. But that also means that I'm not going to be available for any streaming. If you want to know when I'm going to be doing streamings and stuff, the calendar is right there on Looking for Shinies, and I will keep it updated. If you have any suggestions, something you want to see me do, or something you want to see me build even, then let me know, because I am totally up for trying that. Give me a challenge, and I'd like to do it. So thank you so much, everybody. Take care of yourselves. There's the infos. And Ducky says, have yourself a day.